Hey, welcome. It's Wednesday night. Welcome, gamers. This is Actoroke on Gen Con TV. I'm Peter Atkinson. I'm your host.
Hi, I'm Sarah Moore.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
not your host.
No, but she's starring in this film. And the reason we're here is we want to tell you after the movie, stick around because Sarah and I and Steve are going to hang out and chat in a little segment we call Actorspokee. We're going to talk about the movie. So first of all, enjoy the movie. We'll see you after the credits.
Father?
I need you to amend your report to the council.
Amend in what way?
Strike any mention of Hassan's interrogation.
There was no interrogation.
Exactly. And there won't be any either.
But if I don't...
Set will not allow it. Period. Hassan is the voice of Set. His direct conduit.
I don't care.
You will. What is your strategy for when Set makes an appearance at the council?
Is that a possibility?
There are reports of Ma'at deities intervening all over Ta Shamau.
I thought Set was supposed to be the only Ma'at deity.
There is a civil war raging within the Ma'at pantheon. Set is not going to sit idly by while enemy deities threaten his church.
But what if Hassan did it?
Come on, Hassan. I'm the only one even remotely capable of standing up to the Emperor. And you know I didn't do it.
Do I? And what of Lalthrof? He has also refused interrogation.
If Hassan did it, we'll find out the old-fashioned way. He'll be held accountable. I'm warning you, don't do it.
And what of your refusal, Father? Shall I omit that from my report as well?
Yes, please. The shadows of the council chamber can't afford the weight of the truth.
Is this chair taken?
Yes. This is the Senate chair for Prince Takhamir. Find somewhere else.
Lady Lenora, please, over here. You can keep Sybil's seat warm. She'll not be attending today.
Thank you.
How could I resist the allure of occupying a seat next to the most enchanting lady in the room? Kishar, sit next to Lady Lenora in Janek's seat.
Well, isn't this a nice treat? Everybody on time. The council will be in order!
All rise for the invocation.
Where is Hassan?
The Menbit of Set is currently in mourning, engaged in the sacred rituals of lamentation and prayer during this significant period of grief.
Since when do you represent the church?
If I had a hankering for zealotry, I'd make my way to the temple.
I refuse to participate in this religious promotion. while the Church of Set is under scrutiny for regicide.
Starting our sessions with an invocation fosters unity and underscores the shared values we all have within the Church of Set.
Womp womp. Thanks for playing.
Set is still watching, Old K.
As you can see, we have a few absentees today. Holsan is taking a personal day to mourn the passing of his good friend. Senators Serrari and Teomir the Younger are unavailable.
Unavailable? Right.
Your son follows Sybil around like a lovesick puppy. And if he's not careful, he's gonna find himself entangled in her webs of issues.
He can manage it.
Is there really a warrant out for Sybil's arrest?
Yes, there is a warrant out for Sybil's arrest. I would appreciate any information you might have on her whereabouts.
Don't hold your nose.
Godspose Amandella is here today to present an update and share insights into the murder investigation. The floor is yours.
First, I would like to extend my gratitude to those of you who willingly participated in the interrogations.
As if we had a choice. I move to outlaw Taxian interrogations across the Empire. Such tactics are an affront to our personal civil liberties. Is nothing sacred?
I lost a book a couple of years ago. And wouldn't you know it, that brain-hugging slug actually found it for me. So it's not all bad.
Senator Canaz, your passion stance is duly noted. It's imperative to recognize that we employ this tool with utmost respect and reluctance. Nevertheless, we've moved past that phase.
No, we have not. There are some that refuse to cooperate.
Who?
Legatus Tarsus.
Tarsus? What the hell? Are you kidding? I've been occupied. Have you witnessed the riots? Would you rather have your home safeguarded or have me tied to a chair, having my mind diddled?
It seems, Tarsus, you failed in both duties. The Emperor is dead, and now the city is in flames, and all we are getting from you is excuses.
Whoa! Ho, 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 ho.
I propose taking direct command of the Imperial legions within the city. I will quell the riots and stamp out any dissonance.
It was Fatima who was on the front lines helping stop the slaughter of priests, not you, Tarsus.
You think you can command Imperial legions? You lead a bunch of bastards, and you have the audacity to think you can lecture me on military matters? Leading an army isn't a game, Senator. It's not about making outrageous claims to inflate your ego. It's about strategy and discipline and the weight of responsibility.
Responsibility, Tarsus? When can we expect you to live up to yours?
Well, that was unpleasant. Tarsus, can you please schedule your mind diddle so we can put this thing to rest?
I missed my appointment as I was called away on a religious mission, but I will reschedule immediately.
See that you do.
That leaves just Lalfroth, who, as expected, is absent. Looks like he's dodging the reckoning.
The Grand Vizier of the Empire, Elder Dragon, Dark Archon Mage, Master of the acidic abyss, shall not yield to your feeble attempts at mental intrusion. The repercussions for daring to assail Law's froth shall be eternally etched in the Chronicles of Despair. A relentless specter that shadows every stride of his adversaries throughout the endless tapestries of time.
Nothing like a bit of drama to spice up the day?
What precisely did your mind digging unearth? If anything at all. Nothing? Outrageous!
Regrettably, our Taxian allies fell short in retrieving any information that could link Set to the murder. However, we are pursuing a new, promising line of investigation.
I would damn well hope so.
On the night in question, we received numerous eyewitness accounts of elves engaged in a synchronized chorus.
Elf singing, hardly remarkable. It's practically their hobby.
All together and in unison? It seems remarkable to me. From Ogstad to Perrin, elves were reported singing in perfect harmony at the very hour of the murder.
Of course it was the elves. When Cordava forged the alliance in Chaldea, it was the elves who dared to defy him. Defiant fighters entrenched in their enchanted woods, amassing weapons in secret strongholds like Glysenmere and Linwood. Even to this day, they persist in obstructing our progress, sabotaging ship manufacturing in the Georgian forest.
What do you mean all at once? Ogstad? Perrin? How in the world is that even possible?
Indeed. This should be the new focus of our investigation.
I've heard these rumors about the elves singing all over the city. There's even tell of the goddess Ariadne herself serenading the Enumians. Are you a singer?
On rare occasions, important holidays and the like, an elf choral is sung. It's a worldwide enchantment, I'm told, where all elves join their voices, weaving magic.
Is this true? Were you singing while the Emperor was dying?
Perhaps I did. Perhaps I didn't. The elf choral is known for its peaceful nature.
The elves killed the Emperor with an enchanted song? You killed the Emperor?
Temperance, please. We are still in the early stages of the investigation. There could yet be an easy explanation for the song.
What did your interrogation turn up? You did probe her, right?
We did, and we found nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing, except blocks and obfuscation. When our interrogator delved deep into her mind, all he found was the universe tree Yggdrasil staring back. No mind at all.
Gods, are the Enumians involved in this?
Keep your eyes on the plot.
We have an elf right here. Ask her.
Ethark Lenora, our records show you arrived in Sartatof the eve of the murder, and you admit to singing this elf choral.
Is there a question in there?
Why are you here?
I arrived at the Emperor's invitation with the intention of fostering a relationship with him so that the elves may have a voice in the Senate and a seat on this council. We wanted to work with him, not kill him.
Why did you sing the song?
I didn't say I did.
She's lying.
Ethark Lenora, what precisely is elf choral?
The spirits of elves unite in a harmonious communion.
To kill is more like it.
Ethark Lenora,
I must insist that you leave. We cannot have a prime suspect present during these deliberations.
This is absurd. These accusations go against everything that elves stand for.
Consider yourself fortunate that I am restraining myself from having you arrested and thrown into the oubliette. Now make yourself scarce.
Bon courage. All will be fine.
Senators, chasing shadows won't unveil the truth, only deepen the darkness of unfounded suspicion.
Oh, and don't leave the palace.
God's damn elves. Who is surprised?
In any case, I insist that any information not directly relating to the murder investigation uncovered in Taxian interrogation be promptly expunged from record.
Your trivial map secrets hold no interest for us.
They are not trivial, and also we have evidence of someone using chaos to commit crime. We should go find him.
You need to make a public statement exonerating the Church of Set. The people need to know the truth.
Not quite. The Church of Set has not been absolved just yet.
Oh, please. This is nothing but a witch hunt without justification.
We'll see. As Tarsus can confirm, crime rates are escalating, with incidents of looting, riots, and random acts of violence. Furthermore, we've learned Drasseldar are abandoning their posts across Chaldea, adding to our challenges.
So it's true?
Yes. More Drasseldar arrive every day, gathering in the throne room.
36 by last count. But for what purpose, we do not know.
This is the very scenario we dreaded.
Many of the banks and vaults they were guarding have been ransacked and looted.
An attack of opportunity or premeditated?
Raiding parties struck with high-precision weaponry and spells, overpowering defenses both physical and magical, penetrating deep within high-security vaults. With the Drasseldar gone, they easily took everything.
The elves did this.
No, Gravers. Best we can tell.
And this happened at what? The same time the Emperor was killed?
And at the precise time that the elves were singing. This conspiracy runs long and deep and in no way involves the Church of Set.
Loyalty to an authoritarian religion can be blind and misguided.
It is called faith.
If Set truly desired the Emperor's demise, he wouldn't use a weapon. I'm sure he could just wish him out of existence.
Never discount the intricacies of politics, especially the divine kind. The gods engage in their own brand of political maneuvering.
All this exact timing can't be a coincidence.
No. In my experience, there are no coincidences, only strategic moves yet to be understood. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Now I must take my leave.
Let's take a 30-minute recess, and perhaps someone can provide Garl with an elixir to soothe his nerves. Next on the agenda, Consul Steadfast has an urgent banking update.
Distinguished council members, it is with a heavy heart and sincere sadness that I stand before you to impart dire tidings on the ominous state of our central bank.
What has transpired?
Can't you see? The Drasseldars abandoned their posts, and the banks fell victim to looting. Isn't that right?
Yes.
How much? How much?
The Imperial Reserve devastated.
What the fuck does that mean?
Looted to the last gold sovereign.
How many other banks suffered?
We've lost 82.6% of the gold reserve.
Can someone explain how bad that is? That feels like a lot.
That's like 20% of the entire world's wealth.
It's catastrophic. Our entire economic system is on the brink of collapse.
When people and businesses can't access their funds, panic will ensue. Riots will erupt. Wars have been ignited for less.
Kingdoms will revolt.
I'm afraid it's graver than you can even imagine. Our legions are compensated solely in coin. It is a long-standing tradition to bolster local economies. A payday without even a copper to offer would undoubtedly evoke a highly unfavorable response from our soldiers.
And what about the Gulag guards? How will we maintain order?
We must keep this information discreet.
Impossible. Emperor Kodava wasn't the sole force maintaining our empire. It was his gold sovereign and the people's belief in this system. The repercussions of this revelation will inevitably spread.
Consider this. Was the Emperor's assassination merely a smokescreen for an elaborate heist on an imperial scale? Could it be that the chaos following his death served as a diversion for a colossal theft?
The simplest explanation is often the correct one, but orchestrating a diversion of such epic proportions for a bank heist, it seems overly complex, even for the devious minds at play here.
The dwarves were entrusted with safeguarding the bank. It's their responsibility to cover the losses.
What? We are indemnified.
In accordance with the terms of our agreement, we bear no legal responsibility.
How much gold do you own, Garl? Perhaps on payday, we can direct allegiance to the Bank of Steadfast.
This council will need to see your ledgers, security logs, and any of the evidence you've gathered thus far.
It's been 7 days. Why is the council only hearing about this now?
It is undoubtedly an inside job. We all know these damned dwarves indulge in the banquet of avarice, feasting at the trough of greed.
You dare utter such slander. If I were 200 years younger, your insolence would cost you dearly. I would personally see to it.
We must expeditiously convene a special council to conduct a comprehensive investigation. We must ensure every dwarf is called to account and ascertain the connections between the vault heist and the Emperor's demise.
Maybe the dwarves killed the Emperor and kept gold.
Long has our clan been entrusted with the stewardship of the Imperial Bank, a duty we take on with the highest regard. Oh, no one loves or reveres the world's bounties like the natives of this land. As far back as the Clawhammer War, we've fought to protect it. To claim that we stole the funds. Oh, it is an insult of the highest order, and we will not stand. If a fight is what it takes, we will defend our reputation.
If not you, then who?
Moving such a vast amount of wealth without drawing attention is a feat within the capability of only a handful of individuals or entities.
I apologize. My colleague isn't well. Maybe postpone this questioning until a later time when he's more up to it.
We don't have the luxury of time.
Point your accusations where they truly belong, at Loudfroth. 1,000 years of animosity culminate in this damning revelation. Loudfroth is responsible for the upheaval we now face.
Right. You cannot shift the blame from the shortcomings of your clan to any colleague of your choosing, Senator. Huh. It appears your slander has been noted and summarily dismissed.
Get help! No one will miss one less greedy dwarf.
Hey, we're back for an Actorspokee segment. That was the first new Actoroke film that we've done in quite some time, and we're really happy about it.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Peter Actis, and I'm the director of this film. I'm with...
Hi, I'm Sarah Moore. I was Lenora in this film, and also I was production coordinator and a couple of other hats probably.
Yeah, and Steve?
Hello, I'm Steve. I'm Peter's partner, and let's see, I helped write the story and did a bunch of stuff in post-production.
Yeah, well, it has been, I'm serious, it has been quite a while since we've done this. We were doing films on a rapid pace, and in case anybody's watching is wondering why we haven't done a video like this in some time, is because honestly, I was not real happy with the quality. Like, I felt like, okay, we need to really buckle down and fix some technical problems. And so we were having a lot of technical problems with what's called compositing or keying, sort of the process of getting rid of green screen and replacing it with art. We always have amazing art, by the way. Kudos to Tanel Levitt, who provided the backdrops with us and the nice wide shot of the council chambers, which was done in art. And so we've worked on this, and I feel like we've solved it, maybe? I mean, what do you think, Steve?
Feels better.
Oh, hands down better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was always the people who look at green screen, if you do it sort of not well, we weren't doing it very well, you can see fuzzy outlines and stuff. And if you look at this one, you know, it's pretty crisp. It was quite a leap forward for our small little team.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to two people, Rakesh Malik, who was our director of photography on this, who I think really got us a lot more data in the filming process using the Blackmagic cameras that we have. And then also Sora Lulayan, who did the compositing and the keying for us. We finally decided, like, okay, let's quit trying to do this ourselves and maybe find an expert to help us out. And I think that combination just really did great.
Yeah.
And this is also the first video that we've done, other than like the fun sort of YouTube thing or the Zoom call thing we did. This is the first video we've done really for our Burning Sartatof storyline.
Yeah.
And this was a Council of Consuls meeting, which of course is a little dangerous from, you know, this, it's all talking heads. Like, okay, we're going to do a film about a council meeting.
Everybody sit around the table.
Everybody sat around the table, but it was very, very dramatic. And I think Anne's character, Amandella, Anne did a really great job of coming in and being almost taking a little bit too much joy in her work.
She seemed to really like it.
Yeah.
And Carlton, by the way.
Yeah, and Carlton. Yes. And she had her eyes on you.
She did. Yeah. It's a little bit of good old fashioned racism, I think, because I was the only elf there, and not a lot of people loved the elves. There's a lot of bad blood, I would say, towards the elves in Chaldea, but there were some suspicious timings of things. I'm pretty convinced that we didn't kill him,
even though you were all singing on the very night he died.
It's has to do with the Emperor, like it's got other elf things happening, probably.
So what? You were definitely in the hot seat on this episode.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You're very good at dramatic roles, but it's not.
Oh, thank you.
It's not typical of what you like to do. So tell us about playing Lenora.
Yeah. Well, the last thing that I played the night before was Pansy, who is a halfling rogue, and she's like a tiny ball of joyous fury energy. Like, she's just like this bubbly, giggly, I'm just gonna steal all the things and it's gonna be funny, and pretty much all comic relief and everything that she is in. And then the next day, I put on a different kind of prosthetic ears and had to be very regal and calm and centered and poised. And it comes less naturally to me, I think, but it was still super fun. But there is, if you were to ever get your hands on the full footage of what was filmed of me in between all the takes where I'm being very intense, I'm like, la, 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 la.
Well, I gotta say that moment when after Tihomir kicks you out of the meeting and you start to walk away, and then Anne's character Amandella looks at you and says, "Oh, but don't leave the palace." You give this look of, did you practice that in the mirror?
No, but
where'd it come from?
I think it's in there. I think it's always been in there. I think that's that's maybe a little bit of a combination of like the mom look that you give to your kids when you're out and you're like, knock it off. We have something to do. I also used to be a teacher. I used to be a preschool teacher, and there was it's handling large groups of people.
Well, that look, I just think it's favorite. Yeah, Steve.
You know what it reminded me of real recently, and a film won an Oscar for essentially that look. In Oppenheimer, at the very end of the film, when Oppenheimer's wife, sorry, I can't remember her name. One of the colleagues came up to shake her hand at the end after it was all said and done, and she just stood there and refused to shake his hand. She just gave him that look.
The look. I will.
People say it was that look that got her the Oscar. So
yeah.
Wow.
So you're not far off base there.
Listen, Academy, if you're watching.
yeah, that's it. Actoroke for the Academy Awards.
Let's go. Short film. There's a spot for it.
So I want to mention we have some great. If you're watching this, I believe we have some. So we are not actually seeing what's on the screen, but I understand there is some of Tanil's art that is scrolling across the video. Is that true, Steve? You can see it.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm looking over to my other monitor.
Yes, we are too.
Seeing it.
Yeah. So trust but verify.
Trust Marcus.
Trust but verify.
Told us it would be there.
I learned that from Ronald Reagan. Trust but verify. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, I'm also looking at other things. So we have some great scroll art from Tanil Lovett as always. So
By the way,
Steve.
just to reiterate, that. So during all of our live shows, of our games, Tanil is mostly there. Occasionally she's not, but most of the time she's there. And one of the joys of watching our Actoroke live streams is that she does live art. And what she's brilliant at, you know how Robin Williams is really like quick-witted and would hit like a funny joke just instantaneously? Somebody will mention something funny and like within under a minute, they'll be like that sketched.
Yeah.
Really whatever the walrus or whatever thing some player comes up with.
My favorite part about that is that she'll be doing the big main sketch that is very, very sketched out. And then she'll do like really rudimentary sketches and torn pieces of paper and make them dance around the big.
Yeah, that's very good.
Make that keep happening.
So thank you, Tanel.
We love you, Tanel. I see that you're watching. Hello.
So Steve, you wrote this piece. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it's always nice to, like I've said this before, it's always nice because I'm writing based on a game that previously happened as opposed to, hey, just go write me something. So that's always nice. And it's always fun taking those bits. Sarah said recently she really likes it when she sees a film and actually sees a direct quote as a player on the screen, which is always what I try to do. It's not I don't really want to go out and rewrite everybody's words. So if I can, there's those moments where like, that's a great line, I'm just keeping it. And then you gotta, what was your line you always say all the time about D&D? It's like 15 minutes of fun packed into 4 hours or something.
Yeah. I got that from Jeff Grubb. Although if he was here, he would say that he got it from somebody else. But anyway, I'll at least
we all stand on the shoulder of giants, right? But so essentially we're doing the same thing, right? This was 24 minutes, I think, ish, with credits on both ends. So it's pretty quick. And but I know the game was probably 3 hours or 2.5 or
it's based on a whole cycle.
Yeah.
It's like
that's true. Yeah, that's right. That's a difference because in the past what we would do is we would do a film based on per episode. But this was like a cycle. Peter, you might want to explain your cycle thing, but it's like, so we went and mined like 3 or 4 different things. I have 2 thoughts about this. It was kind of fun. They always say about the best science fiction reflects what's going on during the times, so having a bunch of senators debate, investigations, somehow, I don't know, that sort of feels like something off the pages of the news.
Just a little
going after certain people
and
witch hunts.
Yeah, calling it a witch hunt. That was perfect. Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to bring up something interesting. So Peter wrote this story a long time ago. And I mean, a long time ago was a long time ago. But it was the story of the bank heist with all the banks and then Garl dying. Right? Do you remember you wrote an entire story about that a long time ago?
Right.
So I actually went back and reread that, your treatment, if that's what it was, to get in the mood for when Garl. I mean, here's a dwarf who's, everybody knows dwarves loves, wealth and gold and mithril and everything. And then they lose everything. Like the Wall Street drops and people jump off of buildings, that's.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I admit it. I did right. Yeah, I wrote a Council of Consuls meeting. I just wanted to capture. Yeah, this was like 10 years ago at least. I just wanted to capture the essence of what this meeting was like what it could have been like or something. And some of the timing was off from what the timing is now that we've established everything in a lot more detail. But there was this idea that this whole dwarf beggar just keels over and dies of a heart attack in the middle of the meeting. Just thought it was dark, funny,
Good.
Yeah.
Well, originally we were writing this as a long form novel sort of thing, and so we could just write whatever we wanted to. And then we made the decision, you made the decision, we're just gonna role play this out. So we have to give the players abilities to do whatever they want, but there's still these tentpole things that happen, like the banks being raided and being heisted and everything taken. So that still got stuck in there. I thought it was pretty funny. And our dwarf actor, to remain nameless, was wonderful.
The undiscovered human that we found.
Yeah.
There was a street person, right? Some just come on in and play a dwarf?
Somebody was incognito, yeah.
Yeah, we'll put you in a costume and.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you did great. Fantastic.
So there's another bit on this that's important to note that this has got to be easily the most amount of talent actors we've had in one show,
So many people.
right?
In a long time, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
like
the
ever.
Barbarians feature had this many characters.
Oh,
So
maybe.
we haven't
Nobody's
released-
seen it yet, though.
Not filming on the same day. I put those schedules together. This was the most one.
Yeah, I don't.
On the same day.
I think it might. I mean, if you include all the if you go back to when we were doing chapter films, you know, the second Rathskeller film with all the extras, when we had a couple of one of your daughters was there, a couple of your kids were there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Actoroke films. Obviously, we've done bigger productions. I'm talking about within Actoroke, we haven't done this many.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
It was a big production.
It was a lot.
And you know what? I think everybody looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Well,
really
you might want
did.
to talk about the thing. One of the things that that you really wanted is that the Senate, and of course, this is the Council of Consuls. So they're like a smaller group of the Senate, but they represent the entire planet and different societies and kingdoms and stuff. And so they all look distinctively different, right? And I think they did a good job in making that happen.
Yeah. So when Emperor Kadava was alive, even though he was a god, he still needed an administrative body to run the day-to-day affairs of the empire. And so he created.
He couldn't be bothered to do that himself.
Well, I mean, you know, even as a god, he's too much. You know, you have to delegate some things at some point, right? And so he formed this Council of Consuls, and consuls were from the Senate. So the Senate is hundreds of different dignitaries from all over Chaldea, and in different kingdoms, the senators might have other titles like a king or a patesi or a jarl or what have you, right? But the Council of Consuls weren't so much the most important senators, but senators who were willing to move to the imperial capital and live there full time, and have a full-time job of, yes, being a senator, but also running some department of administrative of the bureaucracy of the empire. So and then he chaired this council, Emperor Kadava did, while he was alive. And then all of a sudden he gets assassinated. Well, everybody looks at this council as like, well, like, you guys are in charge, but there's not part of the interesting thing of this, and it hasn't really come out yet, but I'm kind of waiting to see if it does and when and kind of how, is that there's not a clear mandate for this council other than it was the council that Kadava was using, and then Kadava dies, and then Tihomir is the chairman of the Council of Consuls, and he right now is just his job was, well, you're in charge while the emperor's gone. Whenever the emperor can't show up, the emperor's busy, he's off fighting chaos lords in Samaria, whatever the hell it is, you know, Tihomir runs the council. Well, now the emperor dies, so Tihomir is just basically acting like he's the emperor. And so
Probably not super great.
Well,
maybe.
we'll see
Who
what
knows?
happens. We'll see what happens.
Somehow, I don't think that's going to last.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, certainly. I mean,
No,
certainly.
Certainly be no long reaching.
Certainly, if Stefan Picorni's representation of the emperor is 100% accurate.
Listen, I would watch a spin-off of him being the emperor. Give me 24 hours straight of this. I'm in. Steve, I need you to start writing it right now.
Were you singing during while he was dying?
Beard is my favorite thing. The mustache is sticking straight out.
Straight out.
That's how everyone should be wearing their mustaches from now on. It's all the rage.
It's clearly just a moment of indulgent camp of my dear friend Stefano.
Love it.
But you know, it does give sort of this little comic relief to the whole very serious film.
Well, I mean, we're having fun. We're not trying to be, too serious here. Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if you know me, I always try to put the most silly stuff in the script. I'm sure all the actors get this and go, do I have to say this? Anyway.
So when you watched it, Steve, when you watched this movie just now, like, what's one or two of the points where you were the most happy with your writing? Like,
excellent.
yeah, like were you like saying, yeah, I nailed it?
Got it.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, come on. I mean, there's a couple of. I mean, I think obviously with Amandala's different lines about conspiracies and things like that is, there's a lot of hidden innuendo in there, and I'm kind of. And sometimes, someone once told me, be obvious, be blunt as a 2x4 to the head in
That's
writing.
me.
And sometimes I like to hide stuff in there, and then later on, it's like, there's hints at that or whatever. So, yeah, I love all the hidden
There's a lot of
stuff.
stuff that's not said that
Yes.
is very clearly avoided or whatever, that like they're talking around it a lot in places, or like very clearly they answered a question but didn't really answer the question.
Like in the first scene, Amandala asks Zune, well, what about something about Lawfroth? And Zune just doesn't even acknowledge the question. He just goes on to something else.
Yeah, he just ignored that. Yeah. Well, there's other stuff in there like Thomas. You pronounce his name in French. I can never do it, but Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas.
Thomas.
In French, the last letter is always quiet.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Thomas.
Thomas.
I can write it. I just can't pronounce it. But he makes the comment about there's very few people or entities that could move such wealth. I mean, it's a whodunit, right? At the end of the day, it's like, well, the cops are out trying to figure out who stole all the money. Well, seems like a short list of. Who would those people be? I mean, that should be the next question, right?
Yeah, it's Chaldea's version of the murder inside a locked room.
Yeah.
I'm in. It was probably not me. I'm gonna say it right now.
Probably not.
You don't think the elves did it?
No.
Well, in our
plead the fifth.
Maybe it's a good thing we could tease our next film.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, well, so speaking of the next film, so it's principal photography is already done. I mean, Sarah's already done her next bit, right?
Yep.
Did my thing.
The next film that we've already recorded, it's in editing right now, is called Spa Day. And when Lenora goes back into the Taxian horror chambers to have her mind diddled, she asks for divine intervention from one of her favorite people.
My favorite people.
I mean, anybody who's following our game knows the scene. It's like the funny thing about this is like there's really no spoilers here. It's all like within a game. So I mean, she calls for Ariadne. I need some help, and Ariadne obliges and pulls her out. And of course, Ariadne's like, "Oh, we need is a spa day."
Yeah, that's it.
And it came from the line where Sarah, you're the one, obviously the one that got us to do it. You're like, "Oh, I can't wait to film this."
To film that.
During the RPG session.
Spa Day? I will come out. When are you available for filming? I'm ready. Let's go do it.
And let it be known, I really wanted to do the really posh spa thing and really treat the actors bad.
We
but
were
Peter's
trying.
Budget does not support that.
I do not have. I don't know. I don't even know where to start for filming that. Okay, the spa part. We just cut the art. That's the Actoroke way. When we're flummoxed on what to do, we just cut to art.
You just hire, like Sarah would have loved a professional masseuse delivering lines with your neck and back massage. Come on.
But I would have done that for you. I would have made that sacrifice.
I can just see you're like, go, don't cut. I'm still going.
I'm good. Or take. Gonna be fine.
Anyway, yes, that's the next film. So one of the things we were trying to do is figure out this new technology. It's not new technology; it's a new technology for us. New system for filming our short films. Because what we used to do is Peter's like, we'll just open a green screen, we'll film it, it'll be good. It's good enough for us. And then you decided, well, maybe we can do better. Anyway, but at the same time, while we're trying to figure that out, you said let's keep the next one short. So it's a much shorter It's much shorter.
Yep. It's probably gonna be a 10-minute film.
Yeah, it was only
has
10 pages. It's pretty quick.
only 3 actors in it, and we got to really dig in and like have a let things breathe a little bit. We weren't running at breakneck speed during production.
We even had this new thing called a rehearsal.
It's a wild new concept.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have
That's
heard of this.
crazy.
Yeah, we'd never.
And
Well, not-
blocking? Did you do blocking?
I mean, kinda. I kind
Wow.
of just kind of told the actors to go, and I just kind of remember what they did. And that was the blocking.
Gentle hurting.
Yeah,
it happened.
But that's the next one. Let's say we'll talk about that when we do that film. Anything else we want to say about?
Well, we're doing preliminary work on the Nearly Departed film. It was Peter. So we had our little dinner meeting after the rehearsal, and Peter's like, the next film we need to do the Nearly Departed, because we haven't done them for a while. So we're gonna hopefully do a Nearly Departed film. And it's kind of interesting, Peter. You don't even know because you've been away. One of the things that Mike Boozer wanted to do is like, everybody got back to me. The thing people loved the most was the Christmas special. So he's like, why can't we do the Nearly Departed Christmas special? We can do maybe more than one, but he's like, that will give us time to get it done and we could show it next Christmas. So anyway, Peter doesn't know this. I literally just dropped this on him.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
It's on the internet, so now it has
That's
to
it.
happen.
So next film if you're watching, the next film that you will see is the spa day we were just talking about. So what we're talking about next film is like for the process of shooting it, because we have that film that we shoot, spa that we've already shot. And okay, I'm confused now.
It's okay. I
Got
got
it.
you.
Got notes,
I
okay.
got you.
We don't do entire films in 2 weeks anymore.
No.
Right.
Everybody takes a nap.
Let everybody know that's crazy time. We did it for like a year. That was just nuts.
That was bonkers. Yeah.
Hey, but
all
we
right.
did it.
I know we did it. It was
We can
crazy.
do it, and we learned some great stuff.
Yeah.
And
All
most
right.
of all, it's fun.
Say about Gold Standard. We got.
I think it really we were talking about it while the film was playing, but we enjoyed the flags behind everybody to denote like where they were from. Like thought that was very cool to be able to have all that. The art was really great. It was I would love to be able to hang on that wide shot of the chamber, because Tanel really drew everybody like the actors, and so you can like glance around and see everybody and they look like the people, and it's very cool. So I'm sure I'll probably release that at some point for people to
Oh yeah, you definitely should do that. Yeah.
But you have to say, I mean, like, I think, how does it feel to have another one out?
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time, so it's good. I feel like.
Well, by the way, one of the things that we should also mention. So one of the things that always, when we were hurried before, we were cranking out a film, and where the editing process was a week, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We cranked through the sound design fast.
Yes.
Where we actually had time to sit down and actually do layered. This one should have felt, I don't know how to say it, deeper. More ambient and more stuff going on.
Yeah, this was
hopefully
much better. Yeah, no, and that's you, Steve. Thank you very much. That was really good. Really, really well done. Yeah, just better ambient sound, better tonal quality from the vocals, and better Foley sound effects. And I noticed it in particular a couple times. You added some extra voices in the background reacting to some of the drama in the room.
Yeah, I suppose if you were in you played on your TV with a better sound system, it's not off your phone or whatever, it might even sound better, of course. But anyway, that was fun. I was glad to have the time to be able to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we're taking steps for all the steps that we're taking are good ones. Like the spa day, when we filmed it, we had the script, and because we had the time to devote, we had it early enough that actors were basically memorized. Like it was great. Like we didn't have to.
Oh yeah, everybody's off script. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and we even did a little trailer. We had time to do a trailer for this thing, that we released.
Yeah,
Right?
it was really nice. I feel really good about this film.
And we love all of our actors. We love them. They're, don't we? I mean,
we do.
They're always so good.
Yeah. I don't even want to start saying names because I'll miss somebody, but like all the names showing up in my head, just really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, we are.
One thing, by the way, where are you guys at?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know. That's right. So we are at GaryCon. Sarah and I are in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
It's true.
We are at GaryCon. We are celebrating a life well played. Luke Gygax started this convention in honor of his father, Gary Gygax, a number of years back, I think 16 years back. And this year, there'll be another Gary celebrated because it's going to be the first time that there will be it's going to be the inaugural Magic the Gathering tournament in memorial to Gary Adkison, my father, who passed away last year.
Well deserved.
So we are supporting that tournament. James Till, our friend Daryl Judd's son, is running this Magic tournament. So if you are at GaryCon, look us up, say hi, or sign up for the Magic tournament. Well, it's probably sold out by now. But anyway, if it's not, or just bump somebody off and take their place. Yeah.
But don't tell them we said that.
Yeah. So we will be back in 2 weeks from today. 1 week from today, I think is
Nearly Departed.
Mike Boozer will be running here, Actoroke, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time here on twitch.tv/GenConTV. Mike Boozer will be back. He'll be running the Nearly Departed. 2 weeks from tonight, I'll be back. I'll be running Burning Sartatof, and we will go through a new cluster. A cluster is I have 9 players in my Burning Sartatof campaign. I put them in groups of 2 or 3 and run like 4 different adventures. They're all happening at about the same time between council meetings, and so that takes like 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 weeks from now. Then like 10 weeks from now ish, we'll be doing another film, and then we'll start this process again. And hopefully by then, the last film will be edited. Anyway, you get the idea.
I have so much faith in us.
Yep. All right. So hashtag World of Chaldea, hashtag GenCon.
Follow us on all the socials at World of Chaldea, and you can check out the website, which is worldofchaldea.com or actoroke.com. Both of those will work. And check us out here every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific for Actoroke on twitch.tv/GenConTV.
That's right. And we have programming all throughout the week. We have Sarah Stable on Fridays. Sarah runs Small Press RPGs, indie RPG, storytelling RPGs. Friday afternoons is Table Takes. I won't be on Table Takes this week because I'm here at GaryCon, but I will be back in time Monday for Peter vs. Machine. We also have Dress to Quest on Monday. We have Indie by Night on Tuesdays. We have, in addition, before Actoroke on Wednesday nights, we have Path of the Brush with Rick Ankeny, painting with somebody. He never tells us who, though, so we rarely able
always
to.
A surprise.
It's always a surprise for us as well. Thursday, we have Blood on the Clock Tower, and then Roll with Rem. And
all of it.
I think that's it.
Coming up very soon, we're doing. Can we talk about the fun things we're doing on Saturdays starting in May?
Yeah, sure. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. So in May,
starting May 11th,
we have a series of 6 on Saturdays, and we're going to be going through all of the editions of D&D, and we're going to be playing those editions.
Yeah. Starting May 11th for 6 Saturdays in a row. Each Saturday, we'll focus on a different edition of Dungeons & Dragons, starting with OD&D, original D&D, base set, expert set, whatever you want to call it. And that'll be May 11th. And on that, John Peterson will be running that game. Yeah. And he hasn't told me what he's doing yet, but I imagine I'm just imagining he's going to be playing chainmail with outdoor survival and the dungeon crawl and trying to cram all that into
everybody
4
really
hours.
know whoever's going to be playing, please make sure you know your rules because John Peterson will get you.
And the week after that will be AD&D. Luke Gygax is going to run a game. Then we're going to have 2nd edition with Zeb Cook running, and 3rd edition with Jonathan Tweet.
Amazing.
4th edition with Rob Heinzu. 5th edition with Mike Merles. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So
watch those.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
See ya.